Since we have already discussed the seven topics under the effects of factors on economy, namely the relation among cost and capacity, capacity factor, load factor, diversity factor, demand factor, power factor, and analysis of future demands, now let us indulge to the sample problems that we have prepared so that we can understand the topics fully. Now, for problem number one, we have
The Ace Manufacturing Company, capitalized at 250,000 pesos, produces an article which is sold for 10 pesos each. It is now producing 20,000 units per year, which is equivalent to a capacity factor of 80%. The management to 9 pesos, it will be able to sell enough articles so that it would operate at 100% capacity factor. The annual operating expenses are as follows. At 80% capacity, the materials costed around 40,000 pesos, labor at 75,000 pesos, supervision at 12,000 pesos, management and sales at 25,000 pesos, depreciation, taxes and insurance at 18,500 pesos. On the other hand, at 100% capacity, the materials costed around 48,000 pesos, labor 79,500 pesos, supervision 13,500 pesos, maintenance 12,000 pesos, 12,000 pesos, depreciation, taxes and insurance 19,000 pesos. All in all, in 80% capacity, the total is 180,500. At 100% capacity, there is 200,000 pesos in total. The question is, would you recommend a reduction in selling price? Why?
so upon analyzing the problems, we have saw that there is a capital of 250,000 pesos. Next back slides akin. There is a capital of 250,000 pesos which sells 10 pesos each for a single variable, and it is in the 80% capacity factor. Now it is recommended that we should reduce the variable cost to 9 pesos so that we can attain the 100% capacity factors. So it's stated here that should we recommend the reduction in selling price? Why? So in order to justify that, we have to compute for the 80% capacity factor and the 100% capacity factor and compare the rate of return of both factor. So first we have to tally the given. So we have in the 80% capacity factor, the income portion, we have 20,000 multiplied to the variable cost of 10 um, pesos. So the 20,000 are the units. So it resulted to a 200,000 pesos income for the 80% capacity factor. Now for its annual expenses, which was stipulated in the last slide, we have come to the amount of 180,500 pesos. Now, in order for us to get the annual profit, we have to subtract the 180,500 pesos to the income, which was 200,000 pesos, so that we can determine its annual profit, which is 19,500 pesos. So, in order for us to get the rate of return, we have to divide the annual profit, which is the 19,500 pesos, to the 250,000 and then multiply it to 100%. So we have the result of 7.80% rate of return in the 80% capacity factor. So we have determined the rate of return in the 80% capacity factor. Now we are going to go to the 100% capacity factor so that we can compare its significant difference. So we have the income of 25,000 units in the 100% capacity factor multiplied to 9 pesos because we have decided to reduce it to 9 pesos, then we can get the income of 225,000 pesos. Now, we know that the annual expenses for 100% capacity factor is 200,000 pesos. And to get the annual profit, we have to divide 225,000 pesos, which is to be which is to be lessened by 200,000 pesos. So we get the annual profit of 25,000 pesos. So in order for us to get the rate of return, so we just have to divide 25,000 pesos, which is the annual profit, and 250,000 pesos, which is the capital, and then multiply it to 100 to get the percentage, and we have 10% of rate of return for 100% capacity factor. So we can notice that there is a vast significant change in the rate of return for 80% capacity factor and 100% capacity factor. So it is to be concluded that the increase from 80% to 100%, so if we are going to lessen daw katong 10 pesos to 9 pesos, capacity factor should be recommended, not only because of the greater rate of return, but also because of the better competitive position of the company due to the reduction in the selling price of the article. So now we will move forward to problem number two.
So problem number 2. A soft drinks bottling company has two plants, one in Metro Manila and the other is in nearby province. The Manila plant has a production capacity of 2 million bottles per month and that in the province 1 million bottles per month. The monthly fixed cost of the Manila plant is 8,400,000 and a variable cost of 30 centavos per bottle. The provincial plant has a fixed cost of 3,600,000 pesos per month and a variable cost per bottle of 25 centavos. The Manila plant operates at 70% capacity while the provincial plant operates at 60% capacity. So determine the cost per bottle for each plant. If each bottle is sold for 7 pesos wholesale to stores and supermarkets, determine the annual profit for each plant.
So for the solution for problem number 2, let us first consider the Manila plant. So the capacity factor is 70%, therefore the actual monthly production will be 0.7, which is they converted na sa decimal, no? 70% is actually 0.7, and then multiplied by the total nga capacity. Mao ni siya ang maximum capacity sa plant, which is 2 million bottles per month, and then we'll get 1,400 million bottles. And then for the production cost, which is for the first nga problem, first na to ang gipangita, we have production cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. So atong fixed cost for the Manila plant is 8,400,000. Tapos nakita na to ganina nga ang actual monthly production is 1,400,000, so we'll divide fix the fixed cost nga 8,400,000 by 1,400,000 plus 0.30 or 30 cents. Mao ni siya ang cost per bottle, variable cost. So kada ma-produce na bottle is naa siya kanang bayad nga 30 cents. So ang answer for 8,400,000 over 1,400,000 is 6 pesos plus 30 cents will get 6 pesos and 30 cents per bottle na apil na dara ang fixed cost tapos variable cost. So bali, mao na siya ang total cost sa isa ka bottle. Mao na imong bayran. And then for the profit pod kada bottle, since giingon ka ganina nga the bottles will be sold for 7 pesos sa wholesale, we will just be i-minus ra nato si production cost per bottle nga 6 pesos and 30 cents. So we'll get 7 pesos minus 6 and 30 cents will be 70 cents. So annual production at 70% capacity will then be 12 mao na siya ang months per month man gud to ato ang ato ang data kaganina. So 12 months times actual monthly production na 1,400,000 will give us 16,800,000 per year. Mao na ma-produce 16,800,000 bottles. So the annual profit now will be 16,800,000 times 70 cents nga profit. We will then have 11,760,000. So mao na imong profit for the Manila plant. Now we will compare it to the provincial plant nga naay capacity factor nga 60%, which is 0.6. Okay, so actual monthly production will then be 0.60 times 1 million nga mao na siya ang mao na siya ang total or maximum capacity sa plant. Mao na ang pinakataas na siya. That would be 100% nga capacity mao na ma-produce, but 60% lang man atong capacity factor. So we will then be having 600,000 bottles lang per month. And then the production cost per bottle will then be 3,600,000 katong mao na ang fixed cost over sa number of bottles per month nga 600,000 plus the variable cost na 0.25 or 25 cents. So we'll then be having 6 pesos and 25 cents for the price of every bottle nga ma-produce. So the profit then will be 7 pesos minus 6.25. Ang profit is 0.75 or 75 cents. Tapos for the annual production kay annual nga profit man atong gipangita. Annual production at 60% capacity is 12 months times 600,000 bottles is 7,200,000 bottles, and then the actual profit, to get the actual profit imo lang i-times by 0.75 cents, and then ang makuha is 5,400,000. So mao na ay compare nimo, mas dako ka og makuha nga profit sa Manila plant compared sa provincial plant. Kay ang Manila plant, although dako siya og fixed cost, dako man pud siya og capacity, dako siya og maximum amount sa bottles nga imo produce, tapos dako pud siya og capacity factor compared sa provincial plant nga although gamay og mas gamay siya. Actually mas gamay pa than 50% sa Manila plant kay 3,600,000 lang man. Mas gamay siya og fixed cost, tapos mas gamay man pud siya og capacity as well as capacity factor. So makita jud nato nga much better if dito ta sa Manila plant mag-focus if kita ang mag-invest.
Problem number 3. A tire manufacturer makes three types of tires, A, B, and C, and its full production capacity is 5,000 tires per day. Given on the table below are the production capacity of the three types of tires from Monday to Sunday, with a total production capacity of 26,020. For this weekly production, determine A, the capacity factor, B, the load factor, and C, the diversity factor.
So let's have the solution for problem number 3. First, let's solve for the capacity factor. Capacity factor, ang iyang given is ang total available daily capacity is 5,000 tires per day. Mao na ang ma-provide or mabuhat sa company nga tires per day 5,000. Tapos ang average daily load, which is average, so ang total divided by the number of days, which is 7 days per week. So ang average daily load would be 3,717 tires per day. Note that Sunday being a day of the week, it is included in the divisor for determining the average daily load. It is assumed here that production could be done on any Sunday if necessary. So as we solve for capacity factor, its equation is average load over or divided by the total available capacity. So ang average load is 3,717 tires per day divided by 5,000 tires per day multiplied by 100%. So we'll have a capacity factor of 74.3%. Moving on to the load factor, ang average daily load, same sa capacity factor, ang average daily load is 3,717 tires per day. Tapos the maximum load occurred on Saturday and is 4,700. So ang maximum load kay ang pinakataas nga production sa tire from Monday to Sunday, ang pinakataas nga production nag-occur sa Saturday, which ang na-produce nga tire is 4,700. So mao na siya ang imong gamiton. So ang equation sa load factor is average load over the maximum load. Kung ganyan sa capacity factor ang iyahang equation kay ang total available capacity, it means nga ang total nga capacity nga mabuhat sa company. Sa load factor kay ang muha lang pinakataas nga nabuhat nga tires, dili siya dito sa pinakataas nga possible nga mabuhat. So average load is 3,717 while ang maximum load is 4,700 multiplied by 100%, so we'll have a load factor of 79.1%. So moving on sa diversity factor, sum of maximum demands is equal to maximum of type A plus maximum of type B plus maximum of type C. So kani siya dire, ang maximum is kanang pinakataas nga tires produced per day sa usa nga type sa tire. So sa type A, ang pinakataas nga produced tire is 2,400 which occurs on Monday. Sa type B kay 1,500 on Saturday. Sa type C is 1,400 on Saturday. So imuha na siyang i-add tanan, so we'll have a 5,300 sum of maximum demands. So maximum demand of the entire system is 4,700 in which mo to siya ang gigamit niya sa load factor. Pinakataas nga maximum ay pinakataas nga na-produce nga tire is 4,700. This maximum demand is the largest among the daily totals and it occurs on Saturday. So sum of maximum demands of separate parts of system. So ang formula sa diversity factor is sum of maximum demands of separate parts of system divided by the maximum demand of the entire system. So sa atong gikuha ganiha nga sum of maximum demands sa per system kay nakakuha tag 5,300 tires per day while ang maximum demand of the entire system katong gigamit ato gani sa load factor kay 4,700 tires per day will have a diversity factor of 1.128. So if i-times ato na siya 100%, ang ang diversity factor kay 112.8% na diversity factor itong makuha. So that ends our report on effects of factors on economy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening and thank you for your participation. God bless us all.